everyone, this is Seth from the Mass Store Knife Shop, and today we have something pretty new to the market, and in my opinion, pretty totally out of left field. It is totally not what I expected, especially from Leatherman. And so what we're looking at is two EDCs from Leatherman. I know everyone thinks of, when you hear the word Leatherman, you instantly think pliers, multi-tool. Someone says, hand me a Leatherman, you know what they're talking about. But now, they actually make EDCs, and they're pretty cool. I was actually impressed with them. At first I was a little reluctant, but now I'm going to go over them with you and show you all the really cool features, some things I've never seen with some knives, so stick around for the whole video and check it out. First, let's go over the cool box. As you can see, there's a lot of presentation in the box. Nice little sleeve. Looks like you're opening a Rolex. Got a nice little box coming out here, and boom, you have a nice presentation. This is the other knife. We have two. This is called the Blazer, and then this is called the Glider. Basically identical in specs, just a little bit different blade shape. I'll show you. First, we can pull this out, and under here you got all kinds of cool stuff. And this is pretty cool. I'll get to this in a little while, but this has a function other than just a little lanyard in this too. So I'm gonna get to that in a little while. Got all your warranty information. You even got your signed inspection card, little QR code to go online and see some cool stuff you can get after the fact. All your warranty information, instructions, other knives that they offer. Keep all that in the box. It is very important and pretty cool. So now we'll get into the coolest part about it, the knives themselves. Get this one out of here, and they make sure they are really reinforced in there. They're not going to slide around. Get that out of the way. And look at that. Also 25-year warranty with all Leathermans, 100% American made. Very important. All right, let's talk about them. Like I said, we have the Blazer with a drop point style, which is actually one of my favorite one out of the two. I'll show you why. And then we have the Blazer with more of a sheepsfoot style. Tip up carry. A lot, like I said, they're all the same features except basically the blade shape. So I'm going to choose this one because it's my favorite. Like I mentioned, we got a drop point, nice hollow grind on the bevel there. You can kind of see the secondary. And one really cool feature, you'll see the handle is very minimalist. There's hardly any fasteners. You only have two visible fasteners. You got that one and basically that one. But if you notice on the pivot, there's not one on this side. That's pretty cool. And I'll show you if I can zoom in on the camera. See how this right here is one piece. This whole side of this knife is milled for one piece right there. So that's why there's no pivot right there. They have their patent pending compression lock right there. That's totally different. You can kind of see the zoom in, see how that works. It's totally different than anything we have in the knife shop. And you can see how that comes out right there. So crazy strong lock. So you have the convenience of a push button with the strength of the compression lock. So that's really cool. I have not seen anything like that. And like I said, it is patent pending. Pretty cool. As I mentioned, you have a tip-up carry. It's called a square wire clip. Very strong. It's different. It's not the flimsy wire. It takes a lot to really bend that. And it's a, like I said, minimalist design. You have a stainless steel handle, scales, with a Cerakote finish. Now, that's not painted. That is Cerakoted. You can see it on both of them. So that's a very durable finish. You don't have to worry about it wearing away nearly as fast. Now we can talk about this one. Main difference is the sheepsfoot blade, sheepsfoot style blade. I like that one. I do prefer the drop point a little better just for everyday use, but this one you do have better accuracy for scoring, cutting something. So they both have their benefits. Another benefit is the MagnaCut steel. If you watch my videos, this is the Chuck Norris of steels, and I was very surprised to see that Leatherman used MagnaCut on one of their first EDCs. So they went all out, which is not bad. It does up your price a little bit, but you'll see in the end it is well worth it. Before we get into the specs, let's see if I missed anything. One important feature is the sharpening choil right there. Very distinct. Actually, you can get an edge all the way down. And without hollow grind, it can take a pretty mean edge. Other than that, I think we can get into the specs. Oh, also, I'm sorry to mention, we have a simple thumb stud opening. And I brought another knife to compare to, because it's pretty simple. It is not super smooth. I cannot get a lot of play out of it like some. So I brought the Benchmade bug out. We all know how smooth that is. See how I can open and close it? So don't expect that with these knives. They're built like tanks. They're made more for work. They don't have all the bells and whistles as some of the other brands, Benchmade, Microtech, and so forth. But it is just a simply rugged knife. Very firm. I cannot get a bit of play out of it. See how tight that is? So Leatherman wasn't going for a fancy model. They were going for a complete work model. And if you want to see the specs and pricing and links to purchase this, they're in the description below. And now we're getting to the actual specs. And they are essentially the same exact specs on both knives. They are 3.7 ounces in weight for both of them. Pretty light, typical for EDCs. Not light, but it's not heavy. I do like that. You can feel it's in your hand. You got 7.3 inches overall. You have a 3-inch blade. One of them has like a 3.15, but we'll call it 3 inches. And as mentioned, it's the MagnaCut steel. So now we'll go over that on our handy steel chart. Like I said, the Chuck Norris of steels, and I'll explain why. MagnaCut on edge retention, you got toughness and stainless properties. Edge retention, it is great. It's right up there with, like I say, the big dog. It's right in the middle. Much better than some of the higher carbon steels. Over to toughness, it is very high on toughness as well. It's hard to break it, chip it. So like I said, you've got 2 out of the 3 already. And then you go over to your stainless, and you are out the roof on the stainless property. That is great. EDC, you got all properties in your favor. So that is why Leatherman chose to use one of the best steels on the market. And saying that, that does put your price at $299.95. Now, keep in mind they are 100% American made. You've got MagnaCut steel, Cerakoted, compression lock. You got all the perfect qualities and features on this knife. So that is what makes it worth $300 basically. And I was actually impressed after I heard that Leatherman made knives. I was kind of reluctant, but now after studying them, I was really impressed. So I may have to buy one. And then I saved the best feature for last, I think. You notice in the box we have this little lanyard, little Leatherman tool right there. But if you notice, see there's a hex right there. And if I pull this out, you've got a little spot right there that this bit driver will go into, like that. So see how it fits in there. And then if you want to adjust anything on this knife, if you want to take that apart, adjust your tension, your thumb stud, this fits in all of those hex bits. That's number 6 and number 8. And also this will fit right into there. You can kind of hard to see it. See how that fits in there perfectly? And that also fits any 1/4-inch nut driver. And that goes on your lanyard, so you always have it. See if I can fit it in there. You just weave it through here. Sometimes it is not as easy as we hope. There you go. So weave it through, put that on the end, and then take your knife, weave it through right here on this little lanyard attachment. Just weave it through, and just weave it through right there, and pull it. And then you can wrap it around there, like that. So now you have a perfect little lanyard with a tool on it. Of course, you'll have to keep your bit driver at home, in the drawer, in the truck, whatever. But it also fits any standard 1/4-inch. So that's a cool little feature they added on. And it makes sense with Leatherman because all they do is tools, multi-tools. Pretty cool. And I think that should wrap it up for the Leatherman glider and blazer. I hope you all found this information helpful. And before you go, please hit that like button and hit the subscribe button to the channel so you don't miss any new content. And also hit that bell so you'll know when we post new videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.